to 1 point
Not like the Thor, kill like an SCV, and then all of a sudden rally points reset, everything will pop right next to the building as if there's no rally point.
Yeah, exactly right. It obviously...
It's a nice tip to have for...
Exactly. If you don't have your APM, like do, and I can do it all in 10 seconds, because a lot of times that's like a really tough situation. It's like, I have to have this attack, this counterattack going while he's actually counterattacking my base. Sometimes you just need to do it. Kill a single Hellion. 100 minerals for, you know, let's say time. That's really what it is. Let's say you have to do that and you have 6 factories. That's 12 clicks. You just remove 12 clicks with 2. Not bad.
Playing more efficient. Before we begin number 2, I want to give a special shout out to one of my good friends. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Tian. She messaged me and asked me to give her a happy birthday. There you go.
Very nice.
Personal friends giving each other personal shout outs. Also a good friend of mine. In the top left corner from Team Empire, it is BeastyQT, a guy that I've been able to talk to a lot. He is the Orange Terran from Team Empire. And Beasty's been training hard. Well, hopefully he can do well in NASL. I really want him to do well this series. But he's up against I think one of the craftiest Terrans around. It's Ganzi. Ganzi from Team Complexity, who's still one of the mainstay Koreans in a bunch of MLG tournaments wherever he goes. And then when I'm talking about crafty, I'm talking about stuff like this, man. Proxying barracks. And did he get a gas too as well, Andre?
Yes, he did. It will be Marauder open.
Proxy Marauder. This is what I did the first 2 weeks when I played Terran. All I did was cheese, man. Proxy Marauder.
How dare you?
Nonstop.
How dare you?
No, you saw me.
I know. How dare you?
You were ashamed, weren't you?
That's
why
all
you
right.
didn't talk to me for 2 weeks?
I've done Proxy Marauder in tournament games, and then I feel terrible about myself because I just lose with them. I don't practice them.
Yeah, and it's always one of those things where like, yeah, you know, like I'm really gonna do well this tournament, and then you just go completely off your plan, start cheesing. You're like, why did I do that?
By the way, think about what happened last game. Obviously, Ganzi went for something like a really a really fast barracks outside of the map, and this time around he's doing that.
Ooh, Beasty he just scouted the outer parts of his natural, but didn't really get to see this. But I think he's gonna scout it anyways. Will he?
Yeah, he will.
No! No! Beasty turns around.
BeastyQT.
That is brutal because he's attacking up to factory instead of using those minerals for a quick bunker. Oh my goodness.
So he's not completely dead. What he can do is actually send SCVs and use his Marines to actually shoot the Marauders. That's a really good way of actually dealing with it. But when it comes down to it, these Marauders will always be able to actually snipe something up here. And what has to happen is a bunker needs to be placed again on the low ground. If it's not placed on the low ground, then what ends up happening is the barracks floats over and you just lose 2 supply depots right away. It's really unfortunate. But here we go. 2 Marauders against 3 Marines. This is not going to bode well for BeastyQT.
And Beasty's now, I guess he's scrambling at this point. Will the bunker also go up for... No, actually, he doesn't even have the SCV there, so Beasty managed to snipe the SCV. That's a really important play. And Ganzi trying to micro as best as he can, does manage to pull first Marauder away, pulling the second one away as well, and trying to make sure not to get caught by the SCVs. Oh, the SCVs are trying to target the Marauders as well. One Marauder getting very weak.
Well done, Beasty.
And a great defense by BeastyQT. My goodness.
Wow, look at the units lost tab right now, Frodan. That's crazy. 425 resources lost for Ganzi. 150 for Beasty, and he actually got surprised with this attack. Absolutely beautiful. Now he's going to lose 2 Marines right away. Very unfortunate, but a Hellion is going to get into the base over here, and this is going to cause trouble, Frodan.
Yeah.
Not if he attacks the command center, Frodan.
Beasty has to make sure not to lose his Hellion. This is his one way to swing the advantage completely into his favor. Not only does he have his starport up much earlier as well, if he can get ahead in the worker count, he'd be very good, but one Hellion.
Nice.
Very nice job from Beasty.
Let's go ahead and see it. 3 kills, 5 kills so far, and there's a lot of weakened SCVs right now. Oh my gosh, there's going to be a lot.
Yeah. Wow, the SCV is just keeping out with the Hellions to keep the repair on.
Yeah, he's like, yeah,
that's kind of clever. He's like, no, wait, I need to repair you. He's like, sorry, bro.
All right, so Hellion Marine is actually a great way of dealing with Marauder if they're this a low count. But you need the Hellion to actually fight them, which he's not doing. Instead, he's trying to go 3 versus 2 against these Hellions, which I don't think really goes well for BeastyQT. But we'll see in a little bit. And Wow.
Oh my goodness. Beasty saves all 3 of his Hellions. This is really good micro, although he still has to deal with the Marauders crashing onto the supply depot. Although Beasty does have a Banshee that's on the way to take out these Marauders, so inevitably these Marauders will die. But this is still a good way for Ganzi to kind of stall his opponent, especially getting a reactor. That's also huge.
Absolutely, but these Marauders will do a little bit of damage down. The Banshee will pop out here, and there it is. 1 Marauder goes down, but the other 3, they're still going to cause a little bit of trouble. It looks like, Ganzi actually misplaying this a little bit. Wow, he doesn't take out anything, and he's just going to back up from here. Ganzi, you should have just suicided. I mean, your Marauders are pretty useless at this point. The Banshee can forever follow that, but it looks like he doesn't. For now, I think he just wants to stabilize. There's that command center that dropped from BeastyQT. He is comfortably ahead, I would say, just because of this Banshee. It's actually really, really nice. Although there are Vikings out in the field, what the Banshee does over the Vikings is it stabilizes him defensively, whereas Ganzi is the one that has to constantly just shift his unit composition to kind of anticipate what his opponent can have. So this could be a 1-1-1, very dangerous. This could be an expansion, another very dangerous route that Ganzi really has no indicator of what his opponent is going.
Yeah. Beasty doing as much as he can to micro. But a second Viking trying to cut off the Banshee as well.
Nice.
Oh, great micro. Both these players are marking so much, never having more than 2-3 units of any kind, but they've been trying to maximize the efficiency of all the potential DPS. Beasty going to be able to expand way before his opponent. Ganzi just starting his command center. Also, Beasty has 2 tanks out. That's going to make him extremely safe, especially since of how much gas he's able to bank compared to his opponent. He has a lot more room to tech.
Yeah, this is really intelligent. A lot of people actually wouldn't put their siege tanks here, but think of the problems that exist right now for BeastyQT. There are drop potentials for his opponent. There are also Viking lands, and these siege tanks are in a comfortable position to actually go over here. Goodbye, Vikings. You are dead. No way that he can get out of there.
Yeah.
No way that he can get out of there. BeastyQT, do not prove me wrong. Thank you.
Viking trying to... He's like, I am much faster in the air.
No way. And now BeastyQT is ready. He's going to do a 3 siege tank push. You can see that siege mode is on the way right now. Really, really intelligent play by him. Just prioritizing that siege mode last because he's not really experiencing any defensive siege or needed. He's not needing to actually do defensive siege tanks, so prioritizing his gas to get as many units as possible first, and then in getting the siege mode. It's really intelligent, but he doesn't want to go into Marauders. Now remember, the Marauders could have stim at this point. We're 11.5 minutes into the game, so that's why BeastyQT just stepped back a little bit right there. He's saying, no, my opponent's range is just way too big. Let me wait a little bit and get a bigger army, and then I can actually manage my push a little bit better.
Well, now Ganzi loses his, I guess, proxy barracks. It stuck around to 12 minutes. That's very significant. Normally, if you wanted to follow up with like a huge, I mean, normally if you try to follow up with any kind of further pressure, Beasty would normally be able to take out that barracks much earlier, but because he's been put on so much pressure and counter pressure, Beasty is finally taking it out. But meanwhile, back at home, see what Ganzi's up to. He's loading up 1 single Hellion for now. Gonna go for a Hellion drop yet again. Now, last time we visited this, I think Ganzi did get several SCV kills and pull ahead, but that was when he was double expanding. See how much damage he can do. He is behind in the siege tank count. Beasty much farther along.
Ooh, and Vikings going into a great place to actually intercept this. BeastyQT actually doing everything right here. And these medevacs. Oh, no, BeastyQT! Oh, it's like, oh, open sesame. Here you go.
Oh, he moved the Vikings. Oh, he moved the Vikings.
Wow, so unfortunate.
Wow. And Ganzi never even knew how much danger he was to lose all this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and look at this. All the units actually pop out at the worst time possible.
Oh,
the
yeah.
medevac's going to go directly into the Vikings, but for the most part, I mean, a lot of damage is being done by these Hellions. Look at that.
He's only sending Marines, too, to deal with it, so the Hellions can just run away or get trapped by the SCVs. Oh.
And there it is. Okay, so Ganzi really is happy about that.
Yeah, 41-25 with you know, a very comfortable SCV lead. It's going to be very key for him to just sit back and play defense. But at the same time, this is a huge push from Beastie. He's got the tank advantage. He also has the air advantage because he's been pushing out Vikings a lot quicker because he had a reactor on his star point.
Yep. And very nicely done. Actually going to go ahead and siege up on this one refiner. Unfortunate for Ganzi. That's the one that he didn't actually have to take. He could have taken this one before, and then it wouldn't be sieged up as hard right now. Ganzi going to go for the counter, it looks like taking a couple pot shots here.
Really?
This is a very long walk to actually counter.
Yeah, even though Ohana's a smaller map, it's the fact that he's walking out as soon as BC's already knocking on the front door. Ganzi not even able to protect his natural expansion that long whatsoever. He doesn't even have a tank on the high ground. In fact, he's got nothing back at home.
Yeah.
Ganzi's completely trying to bank off another base hit to really hold his opponent back or something, but he's not going to be able to do anything. Loses the natural command center, and the Vikings even landing. Beastie really committing to it. Guy's not even lifting any buildings, so he might lose in a straight-up elimination race as Ganzi has now entered his opponent's base. The Viking also trying to hold up the Banshee. Neither player has stem at this point, but Beastie will finish way before he does. Ganzi losing almost all the supply.
Oh, no.
Back at home. And Beastie has a firm control on this game. Can Ganzi hold? He loses his tank at the main base, and there's nothing really left for him here. GG.
Crazy games we have from these two players. That's all I can really say. The early game aggression. I love the mind games, though. Ganzi showed a fake proxy, and then game 2 actually proxies. Of course, BeastyQT was like, oh, well, I saw this last game. You're not actually going for a proxy. And then he went for a proxy. It's unfortunate. If he literally just clicked like a tiny hair a little bit farther to the north, he would have actually seen the barracks.
If he just had lower APM. Like, if he just sent his Marine to the third and be like, yeah, like, I'll get that Marine back eventually. Like, sometimes people scout it because they're that bad. Like, I don't want, or not that bad, and not in this case, but like some people, like when like Shattered Temple or Lost Temple, like you couldn't spawn close positions, but people didn't know that. Like they still scouted because they just were unaware, but because they scouted, they saw your proxy. Like you try to go high level mind games because people are very ignorant of that. They're like, they scouted anyways. Those are like the most frustrating moments ever, man. It's
like, you don't deserve to win this game.
Anyway. Like, you're not supposed to do that. And it's like, a win's a win.
Exactly.
Thank you so much to Azo Monitors, the people who supply monitors for North American Star League. We love you, Azo, especially for all you do for esports. Even the DreamHack Azo Open. Guys, we'll be back with game number 3, the deciding match between Beastie and Ganzi. Find out what happens right after this commercial break.